Kirandeep Kaur and of 10th, and I'm a student of Gatha-2.0 from Jharsuguda, Odisha. So today I'm here and I'm going to share a story of a woman who never gave up in her life despite of her hardships, painful story and the struggle she's been through. It's a story of a woman whose imperfectly perfect life made her who and what she is today. It is a story of a woman whose, in pursuit of her dreams and aspirations, made other people realize that when you think your life is hard, you just give up because you think that your life is unfair. Then we should think again, because at that time we are being unfair to ourselves. It is a story of a woman who believes that real happiness doesn't lie in money, fame, or success, but it lies within. Real happiness lies in gratitude. She believes in the power of words. She thinks that wherever we go, we should use positive words, because words are like that can make us, break us, heal our soul, and they can just damage us forever. And there are such incidents in our life that just make us physically, emotionally so strong that whatever comes in our life, we are just prepared to just fight for that. And the same way I'm talking, but none of the women. She is known as the Iron Lady of Pakistan, Muniba Muzari. So let's begin a story. She was born in a conservative Baloch family where good daughters never know how to say no to their parents. So one day her father came and just told her that I want you to get married to a person. So at that time she told that, okay, if that makes you happy, Dad, then I'm ready to marry him. And she got married when she was 18 years old. And after that, like 2 years, just about 2 years of her marriage, or we could say 13 years ago from now, her husband and along with the husband she was going to a place, but somehow her husband fell asleep and the car fell into the ditch. But what happened at that time, that her husband jumped out of the car and saved him successfully, but she stayed inside the car. And she was broken at that time. She was unable to breathe at that time. But the people who just came to rescue her, they gave her the CPR, and there just debate was going on that what should we do now? She is going to die. She is about to die. Then the incident took place in a far-flung area, Balochistan area, where in the outskirts of that, where no first aid, no medical treatment, no ambulance was present there. But somehow the people they find out the four-wheel jeep where they put her at the back of the jeep, and at that time she could feel the pain. She could feel the transitions of her spinal cord, and when they threw her at the back, at that time she realized that half part of her body is completely paralyzed and the half part is completely fractured. But somehow they managed her to take to the hospital, and they reached there within 2 hours. Like after her treatment, one the doctor came and just told her that I've heard that you wanted to be an artist, but you ended up being a housewife. Well, I have a bad news for you, because he told that since your wrist and arm is so deformed, so fractured, that you won't be able to paint again, you won't be able to pick a pencil also. At that time she didn't say a word and she became quiet. And next day the doctor came and told her, because of her spinal cord injury that's so severe that you could not walk. Well, she said, it's alright, no problem. And the next day the doctor came once again and just told her, because of your fixation in spinal cord and your back, you cannot be a mother. And that was devastating for her. And at that time she told her mother that, what's the point of living? Why am I even alive? I cannot walk, I cannot just do whatever I like, but I cannot be a mother. And women have a thought in our mind, like society has created that, like we women are incomplete without having children, and that was very, very painful for her. She just told her mom that why am I even, what's the existence, why am I existing in this earth? And at that time she told that to her mother, and that her mother didn't give up, and she told her that, well, I know this is a very hard time for you, but I believe that God has a greater plan for you. He has thought something greater than you have ever imagined. and she know this too shall pass, and you gotta do something great in life. Now, so after when she came to home, at that time she when she was in hospital, she was just crying all the time. And at that time, she told her brothers that, brothers, I want to add colors in my life. They're just where I'm in the hospital. They're all white walls. They're just white scrub I'm wearing. I want to do something more in life. And she told her brothers that, please bring me some colors. Please bring me some canvas. I want to paint. I want to bring colors to my life. And at that time, she painted, and it was just not a piece of art or just a painting, but it was a therapy for her, because through that painting she could just tell her story. She could just tell her emotions, feeling, pain in that. And the people who used to pass through that place, they used to tell, so beautiful is the art, but no one could see the grief in it. Only she could see. And somehow she just managed 2.5 months there. And after just discharge from the hospital, she went back to the home. At that time, she had developed a lot of ulcers and on her back and her hip bone. And because of that, what happened, the doctor told that since you have developed a lot of allergies, a lot of infections, that you have to, like, she was bedridden, not for just 6 months, 1 year, but for 2 years. And that was very painful for her. And after like and when she was just lying on the bed, at that time she was just looking at looking out of the window, that birds are chirping. And she used to, at that time she used to think that, well, there will be a time when I will be going out and will be enjoying the nature with my family. And the people who used to pass through that window, she realized that how people are lucky, but they even didn't consider them lucky. They always compare their life to others, that I am not enough, like I'm not getting enough that I want. Like whenever we want to do something great in life, we must stop comparing ourselves to others. That's the main thing. So like after that thing passed, like after 2 years and 2.5 months, when she was she was discovered, like not discovered, but she was completely recovered. Then at that time she sat on the wheelchair, knowing that she's never going to leave the wheelchair. But at that time she just sat and just she at that time she itself in the mirror, she talked to herself and just told her, I won't just wait for a miracle to come and just change my life, or I cannot wait for anyone. I cannot just cry anytime. I just cannot uh, accept that people would come to me, because no one has time for me. So I have to change my life, and that's the main thing I have to do. And she talked, and just looking at the mirror, she just put the lipstick on her mouth, on her lips, and just cleaned it up, because she thought that a girl like her, a woman like her, does not deserve it. Because like a person on a wheelchair, what people will think of her, she was embarrassed of that. But the second time she put the lipstick, and this time for herself, because she thought that I'm not gonna be perfect for someone else, but I'm gonna feel perfect from within. I want me to be perfect, not for anyone else. I'm going to be perfect person. So at that time she told that, like, we have fears of known, unknown, and various things. But at that time she just wrote down all her fears one by one, and she told herself that I have to overcome all this my fear one at a time. And at that time, she just first one was her divorce. She didn't want a divorce, but when she realized that she wanted to make work that her marriage. But somehow when she realized that this is not anything, but it is my fear, and have to overcome that. And at that time she liberated herself by setting her husband free. And that decision, and that when she overcome that fear, it had made her so strong physically and mentally, that when on the day of her marriage, on the day of her husband marriage, she got that he's marrying another woman, that at that time she just sent him a text writing that, I'm so happy that you are getting married to a woman, and I wish you all the best for your marriage life. And the second one is facing people. Like when she used to lie on the bed, the people used to come her and just to, how are you? Just they always used to ask her sick questions, that she was fed up. And she didn't wanted the mercy of the people. She was treated like a patient. She didn't wanted that. So what happened? She just wanted to be a person who could be just much. She wanted to be the best person of herself, and that's why what she used to do. She used to just close the door, and she used to pretend like she's sleeping, and the people used to go. So, and the third fear is like she could not be a mother. And when she realized that there are so many children in the world, the only thing they want is acceptance. Then why don't I go and adopt one? And the same way she did. She like she gave her name in different organizations, different orphanages, and like 2 years after that, the call came that here it's a boy from the small city of Pakistan. Would you like to adopt him? And she said yes. She could feel the labor pain at that time. So she went there, and the person who was just carrying the baby, he was just looking at her from head to toe, and she just kept thinking in her mind that, oh my God, what the person is saying, that a woman on a wheelchair, how could he just care, how she could take care of the child, but when she went there and she told that, please don't judge me that I'm in a wheelchair and I couldn't take care of this child, but she told that, the man told that, no, I'm not thinking about that, but I'm very glad. I know that you will be the best mother of this child, and you both are lucky to have each other. At that time, she was very happy. And the fourth one is, will people accept her? Because when a person is on a wheelchair, it is very hard to accept. But she told that I have to be perfect for myself. If I will just become the real version of myself, then the world will accept me. And the same way she did, she just accepted her. And now she's going, and now she talks about like three heroes of a life, of like real life heroes. The first one is Walid Khan. So in the army Peshawar school, examinations were going on. So Walid Khan was there as a proctor. He was just taking care of the children. But what happened? The terrorist attacks, like the terrorists, they just came into the school and they just started shooting the people. And they are even, they are barbarians. They are even like worse than animals. They do not see people, isn't it? So what happened? They just shot Walid Khan in his face 3 times and on his body 5 times. He was completely injured, and when they just took her to the hospital, he got the treatment, and like after 1 week, like she was asked to give a talk in the school, and when she went there, the children, they were looking hopeless, like they were just thinking that what was our fault? We were just here to give examinations, but we were shot. We have lost our friends, we have lost our family members. How could we manage? And when she just, the people told her that Walid Khan is in a hospital and you have to see her and you have to see him and you have to motivate him that everything will be okay. When she went there to the hospital, there she was surprised looking at his face because it was completely deformed. But she was kept thinking in her mind that what should I tell him? What should I tell him to motivate him? She was just completely juggling with the concept of those words. But Walid Khan came and just told her, are you Muniba Mazari? And she told, yes. Then she told that, Walid told that, oh Mazi, let's come take a selfie. And she was very happy at that time because he is willing to accept the way he is. He does not even compare himself, or he doesn't even care for others. He's just willing to accept the way he is. And when people ask, like, why are there so many scars in your like he goes in the same school, and when people ask him that why are there so many scars on your face, then he told that these scars are my medal and I wear them with pride. And he once told that like the terrorists, they didn't wanted me to study, but I will study and I will become doctor one day, and that's the way of taking revenge from those terrorists. Now second one is her son Naim. He was like 4 years old at that time, so he loves football. So one day he just came and just kept the ball in her feet and just told her, mom, let's kick the ball, let's play football. And at that time she felt disabled because she couldn't just kick the ball, but with the same face, with the sad face, she downed her face. And at that time her son told that, what's happened, mother? Like, what happened, mother? No need to worry. What happens if your leg do not work well? Your hands do. So let's play catch the ball And at that time she realized that when we think our glass is half empty, that why don't we think, oh come on, let's, why don't we think that our glass is half full? It's all in here and here. You know, that's everything here. We have to think, positive every time. If we are just, she told that the people call her disabled, but she calls herself different able person. They see her strength, sorry, they see her weakness, but sees her strength. And when people say, they find out her disability, she finds her ability. They call it adversity, but she calls it opportunity. It's all in here. So the third one is a mother. Her mother thought that. Her mother just made her realize that heroes have no gender. Heroes have no gender, and we have to be great to, like, if we want to achieve something, then we have to be great. And her mother told that this time too shall pass. Please don't, you are going to, I know that you are going through a very hard time, but I know that like there is a tunnel in our life which we have to roll on, but there is a light, and that keeps us going on. But in the case of Muniba, there was a tunnel and she had to roll on, but there was no light, and it was completely, I would say, a sort of thing for her. But her mother and brother always kept her motivating to do something great, to just keep her going. And she also never cried in front of her mother and her brothers, because she knew that if I will cry, they will too give up. They will too cry and they will too give up. So she never cried, and her mother also always motivated her. Now, what's the most thing that connects us like with people is the pain. Like we are living life since 75 years, like 100 years, with the same routine. Like we are earning money, fame, success, but not for people. We are earning for ourselves. What's the most important thing is when we just do good things for people, when, like, we have to become that sponge which absorbs all the negativity and just spread all the positivity everywhere. So she tells that when we help people, that's the time when we live for life. That's the time. And it's not like earning money for ourselves, just making, like, becoming famous. No, we have to do something for us which can make their life better. At that time we could say that, like, because of that person I didn't ever give up in my life. And she also, like, she is the brand goodwill brand ambassador for the UN women in Pakistan, like for UN women Pakistan. And she also was featured in BBC, 100 women for 2015, and she's also one of the Forbes under 30 Forbes. And she tells that she also works for beautiful people, and they are called third gender, neuter gender. Like, we always find faculty in them, like they do not behave properly. But when she went there, she has a good friend, like best friend of her, like her name is Bijli, and Bijli means electricity. But she never just call herself electricity has bad outage of power, so that's why she didn't call herself electricity. But she said that I'm lightning, I'm as strong as lightning, I have to do something great. And like when she hugged her for the very first time, she said that you are like me, you are just like me. And it's like all the imperfections that connects us with our soul. So, like, before ending this story, I would like to say that we should, accept ourselves the way we are, and we should help others all the time. And when we will just, when we'll do all these things, we will live life and not just making money, fame, or success. That's not called life, isn't it? So we have to do something great in our life. And from this, like, if I say that when a person like her didn't give up in her life any time, that why should we? We are so lucky to have each other, and we should, we should develop a sense of positivity, and we should always think positive thoughts. We should always think positivity, and we should do something great for people that change everyone's life. And with this, I end this story. Thank you very much.